Hello, I'm Yogi Virgil the Doubtful, Yogi Bear, and this is the poorly animated Book of Mormon. Last time, we built a boat and went to America, and it took about that long. And now, the 19th chapter of 1 Nephi. And it came to pass, the Lord commanded me, wherefore I did make plates of ore. Thought you already made plates of ore, that I might engraven upon them the record of my people, the music of my people. And the plates which I made, I did engrave in the record of my father, and also our journeys in the wilderness, and the prophecies of my father, and many of mine own prophecies have I engraven upon them. And I knew not at the time when I made them that I should be commanded of the Lord to make these plates. I knew not at the time when I made them that I should be commanded to make them. What? I don't know. Wherefore, the record of my father and the genealogy of his fathers, and the more part of all our proceedings in the wilderness are engraven upon these first plates, of which I have spoken. Wherefore, the things which transpired before I made these plates are, of a truth, more particularly made mention upon the first plates. I hope you got that. I didn't, but I don't care. I'm powering through. And after I had made these plates by way of a commandment, I, Nephi, received a commandment that the ministry and the prophecies, the more plain and precious parts of them, should be written upon these plates, and that the things which were written should be kept for the instruction of my people who should possess the land, and also for other wise purposes, not foolish purposes, which purposes are known unto the Lord. So I thought we did this back during the Vision Quest, that there were plates and more plates and other plates, and they had reasons and purposes, and they were all called the plates of Nephi, and had different purposes. And when there were brass plates somewhere, I guess they brought them with them. I assume they didn't leave them. They're somewhere on the boat. So I'm looking at 19:4, which is the next verse, and it says plates in the first sentence somewhere, and I'm shaking my head. SMH, ladies and gentlemen, SMH. Wherefore I, Nephi, did make a record upon the other plates. You know those other plates, the other plates, and the plates. So you guys, do you eat off these things? Because, man, you've got a lot. Which gives an account of, which gives a greater account of the wars and contentions and destructions of my people, none of which has happened yet. Where, I guess he's writing this way in the future. This I have done and commanded my people that they should do after I was gone, and that these plates should be handed down from one generation to another, or from one prophet to another, until further commandments of the Lord. Great. And an account of my making of these plates shall be given hereafter. Okay. And then, behold, I proceed according to that which I have spoken, and this I do, that the more sacred things may be kept for the knowledge of my people. Period. 5 chapters in, no idea how I'm going to animate any of this. It's just plates. Nevertheless, I do not write anything upon plates. He's going to go on and on, isn't he? Save it be that I think it be sacred. Okay, so I guess the names of your entire family is not particularly sacred. And now, if I do err, even did they err of old, not that I would excuse myself because of other men, but because of the weakness which is in me according to the flesh, I would excuse myself. So God has commanded you to make these, but he's not helping you make them perfectly. And why are you've said other things that suggest this was blessed, but I'm not. You know what? He's taken responsibility, so small miracles. For the things which some men esteem to be of great worth, both to the body and the soul, others set at naught and trample under their feet. Very true. Yea, even the very God of Israel do men trample under their feet. I say, trample under their feet, but I would speak in other words. They set him at naught and hearken not to the voice of his counsel. So I just want to point something out in 19:7. He starts off fine. Some things that are of value, people trample under their feet. Fine, that makes sense. They set it naught. They treat it if it's not valuable, and they trample under their feet. And then he goes on and says, even the very God of Israel do men trample under their feet. And then he corrects himself. I'm under the impression that he's carving this into metal plates, and he just messed up and didn't fix it. Why would you correct yourself when you're writing on metal plates and you only have so much space? This is clearly Joseph Smith saying the wrong thing. He didn't mean to say the God of Israel do men trample. He meant to say the God of Israel do people set at naught, and that's a bad thing, because trampling God on your feet sounds terrible. So this is a huge indicator, to me at least, that this is Joseph Smith rattling this off. He's not translating this directly. He's making it up, or at the very best, giving all credit here, all possible leeway, he misread the sentence. But he couldn't fix it. So this is clearly not a magical book. I'm moving forward as best I can, but this is irritating. And behold, he cometh, according to the words of the angels, in 600 years from the time my father left Jerusalem. Woohoo, Jesus is coming. And the world, because of their iniquity, shall judge him to be a thing of naught, wherefore they scourge him, and he suffereth it, and they smite him, and he suffereth it. Yea, they spit upon him, and he suffereth it, because of his loving kindness and his long suffering toward the children of men. Great. And the gods of our fathers, who were led out of Egypt, out of bondage, and were preserved in the wilderness by him, yea, the God of Abraham and of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, yieldeth himself, according to the words of an angel, as a man, okay, into the hands of wicked men, to be lifted up, according to the words of Zenok. Who's Zenok? What's a Zenok? Is it a book? There's no book of Zenok. I don't know. That's out of nowhere. That is just dropped in the middle of this big giant verse. And to be crucified according to the words of Neum? Neum? Who's Neum? And to be buried in a sepulchre according to the words of Zenos. I don't know who any of these people are. Which he spake concerning the 3 days of darkness. Okay, so he's talking about Jesus' death being foretold by these guys, which should be a sign given of his death unto those who should inhabit the isles of the sea. Who's the isles of the sea? Where are the isles of the sea? Especially given unto this house. All right, I have to go look this up. I'll be back. I have no idea who these people are. So the magic of Google and the Bible Gateway app have told me that these people exist only in the Book of Mormon, and we apparently have no writings from them. So essentially, Joseph Smith is proclaiming a prophecy here written by people who nobody's ever heard of. And that's really amazing. Okay. I don't know where the Isles of the Sea are. I have no idea. None of my notes show me anything. So, I don't know. I'm completely baffled by what this means. For thus spake the prophet, the Lord God surely shall visit all the house of Israel that day. I'm guessing on the day of Jesus' raising or death, one or the other. Some with his voice, because of their righteousness, unto their great joy and salvation, and others with thunderings and lightnings of his power, by tempest, by fire, and by smoke, by vapor of darkness, and by the opening of the earth, and by mountains which shall be carried up. I don't know what carried up mountains look like. And I'm not sure how any of that would be a sign. It seems like you would think it's the end of the world. And all these things must surely come, saith the prophet Zenos. O Zenos, you're so wise in your very few words. And the rocks of the earth must rend, and because of the groanings of the earth, many of the kings of the isles of the sea shall be wrought upon by the Spirit of God, to exclaim, the God of nature suffers. I have no idea who or what those people are. He's prophesizing something. Maybe it came to pass. I don't know. And as for those who are at Jerusalem, saith the prophet, they shall be scourged by all people, because they crucify the God of Israel, and turn their hearts aside, rejecting signs and wonders and the power and the glory of God of Israel. And because they turn their hearts aside, saith the prophet, and have despised the Holy One of Israel, they shall wander in the flesh and perish, and become a hiss and a byword, and be hated upon among all nations. I like that. That's a good description right there. Credit where credit's due. Nonetheless, when that day cometh, saith the prophet, that they no more turn aside their hearts against the Holy One of Israel, then will he remember the covenants which he made to their fathers. Yea, then will he remember the isles of the sea, again with the isles of the sea. Yea, and all the people who are of the house of Israel will I gather in, saith the Lord, according to the words of the prophet Zenos. O Zenos, from the 4 quarters of the earth. Hi, I'm Zenos, and this is a prophecy. Yea, and all the earth shall see the salvation of the Lord, saith the prophet, Every nation, really? Every nation will see this? Kindred, tongue, and people shall be blessed. I don't know. Seems like that has never happened. And I, Nephi, have written these things unto my people, that perhaps I might persuade them that they would remember the Lord their Redeemer. You're talking about the people we were with right now, the family and friends you have gathered around you, or the people of the future. What people? Wherefore I speak unto all the house of Israel, if so be that they should obtain these things. For behold, I have workings in the spirit, which doth worry me, even that all my joints are weak. For those who are at Jerusalem, for had not the Lord been merciful to show me unto me concerning them, even as he had prophets of old, I should have perished also. Okay. And he did surely show unto the prophets of old all things concerning them, and also he did show unto many concerning us. Who? Who is he told concerning you? Wherefore it must needs be that we know concerning them, for they are written upon the plates of brass. What is written upon the plates of brass? That you guys are going to do this? That doesn't make sense. You have the plates of brass. I don't know. And now it came to pass that I, Nephi, did teach my brethren these things. And it came to pass, as it does, that I did read many things to them. Of what? That were engraven upon the plates of brass. So you're reading the Old Testament to them. Good for you. That they might know concerning the doings of the Lord in other lands among people of old. They've never read the Old Testament before. How do you people not have the Jewish Bible laying around? You're Jewish. And I did read many things unto them which were written in the books of Moses, but that I might more fully persuade them to believe in the Lord. They know about the books of Moses, because every time you have an issue, you talk about the things God has done in the past, and you specifically had a huge conversation about the parting of the Red Sea. So this is not news to them. They clearly know this stuff already, and you're telling them stuff they already know, which is just messing with my head. But that I might more fully persuade them to believe in the Lord their Redeemer, I did read unto them that which was written by the prophet Isaiah. Okay, for I did liken all scriptures unto us. So you're reading them Isaiah to compare his situation to your situation, that it might be for our profit and learning. Got it. Wherefore I spake unto them, saying, Hear ye the words of the prophet, ye who are a remnant of the house of Israel, a branch who have been broken off. Hear ye the words of the prophet, which were written unto all the house of Israel, and liken them unto yourselves, that ye may have hope, as well as your brethren from whom ye have been broken off. For after this manner has the prophet written. And that is the end of the 19th chapter of Nephi. And it was not a very good one. It was really just about all the stuff he's going to write down, and it brings up a bunch of prophets who I've never heard of, and he's apparently setting up a conversation about Isaiah and trying to convince them that all of this is prophetic. So after the joy of the last couple chapters, this was a letdown. So hopefully next time it will be more interesting and exciting. As always, I am your guide, Virgil, and subscribe, come back, tell your friends, put it on Facebook, whatever works for you. And I hope to see you next time.